We are here to talk about how to say no. Now, for those of you who are new, how to say no is referring to when you get a piece of furniture that comes through your back door that may not be sellable, or it may be stained, or it may be broke, or it may have like a smell of smoke on it. How many of you are utilizing the how to say no? How is it going?
Pretty well, actually.
Pretty well?
Pretty well.
Is it easier for you to say no?
Yeah, I don't have much trouble with it. I don't often have too much trouble with the donors. Sometimes I get a little bad.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's kind of part of it, but it goes,
Do you use the little sheet that I gave you?
Yep.
Okay.
Particularly if they're, moving or if they're emptying out somebody's house.
Yes.
I'll definitely give them one of those because it saves both of us a lot of time.
Exactly, exactly. I'm going to pass these around for those of you who may not be aware of this little piece of information.
Yeah, and tell them what you accept.
What we
I
accept.
usually give them this
This
one
one?
here.
Yes, and this is a
That way
very
they
good
got-
piece
they got
too.
the number on front, and then they got the addresses and all the other stores.
And we're going to talk about this one second. This one that I'm giving you, this has to do with basically bulky items, appliances, big pieces of furniture that we're not accepting. So when you say no to somebody, it's kind of hard sometimes to say no. But then you have a piece of paper that you can offer them to help you with that education. And this is education. And this is something that our donors, we have a lot of people that are moving here and they are not familiar with Collier County to the degree others are. Yes, Carl?
If we have in translation over here, so we hear a little bit of
No problem.
repeat.
No
That's what it
problem.
is, okay.
In the future, we have a Spanish member of our team that can help with translation too, and I may even do a Spanish version of this for a group of people down here in Collier, just to make it a little bit easier.
And that's what Elvin is doing here.
Thank you, thank you. So this little piece of paper doesn't cost much at all to produce. I did bring some with me today, but if you even want to add this with your receipt, you can do that because this information is quite valuable for a donor. And also, if you have a donor that drops off a piece of furniture and you're saying no to them, they need to know how to dispose of it. Like I said, they can call the number on here and get further information. They pay taxes, and so there is no charge for this service. And it's just like a little added bit of information. Sometimes you'll get a donor that will come and they're going to be a little cranky. And they're going to say, oh, I rented this truck and I had my neighbor help me, and what do you mean you won't take it? Well, in an instance like that, you can take it, okay? We don't want to make anybody angry or upset with us, but then you give them this piece of paper and they're going to say, oh, well, the next time I'll know better. So we're still saving a little bit of money and time for us. Time, labor. That couch that you're not taking won't make it to the floor. Chances are you're going to put it on the truck. Then it will end up at our plant. Then maybe it'll go to the outlet, but our outlet customers don't really want to buy anything that's stained or damaged or broke either. So that couch will end up in our shredder. At the end of the day, that couch is going to cost us money because we have to dispose of it. So that's the full story. And that is something that you could let your donor know. And the end result is, if it costs us money, it's going to go and take away from our mission. Okay? Does everybody have an idea about what our mission is? Our mission basically, it's on the back of our cards, our IDs. It's always with us. But basically what it is, very simply, is we're giving people that have disabilities and or disadvantages a chance for independence by offering services and jobs and independence to these people. And it's like, there's a lot that goes into our mission. All of our 91 cents of every dollar of what we bring in goes toward our mission. So we're working like in a circle. And our mission is not just a one-stop shop. Here at this place, at Town Center, excuse me, my throat is dry. Hang on a second. Excuse me. We have a job links right in the corner, the front of the store. That job link serves people that may not have a computer, for example. And you know, in today's world, if you don't have a computer, it's very difficult to get a job because everything is online, okay? Or maybe they have a computer, but they don't necessarily know how to maneuver through it, which sounds odd, but they just have difficulty. And you know, these interviews and the application process and all of that, the information is tied back into an email and that type of thing. So it can get, you know, rather complicated for a person who's not very familiar with that process. Then that's a barrier to getting a job, okay? Our job links, and we have several in all of our 5 counties, probably more than 10 at this moment, and it does change a little bit. We have people in their staff that will assist those folks and help them find a job. And it may not be a job just with Goodwill, but it's a job in our community. And they're very, very beneficial. Some of our job links are affiliated with United Way and other organizations, but at the end of the day, that is just one way that our mission supports the community. Now, when we do these trainings in the future, and they will continue, they're going to have elements of other very important parts of our business, and our mission being one of them, because if you have a donor, for example, and they say, you know, gee, well, what is your mission? You know, I want you to feel comfortable enough about, you know, saying something. Today, a little bit about job links, that's just a little bit of what you can say back. But we want to educate our donors. We want them to know that we're good stewards. The reason we're saying no goes back to an expense issue. You're more than welcome to state that. And if questioned, you know, what's your mission? You can even use your card. You know, you have it on you at all times, on your name badge. And you can explain it and even show that to the donor. So you're educated, and that's really a really important part of why we're here today, because we want you to be able to handle your job in a professional manner. And you know, you've heard knowledge is power before. It's so true. The more knowledge you have about something, the better you can explain that to our donor. Remember another thing about our donors. We have a lot of competition around us. In fact, as I was driving here this morning, I take airport pulling, and there you are, St. Matthew's House, and then I didn't pass it, but the other St. Matthew's House. Very, very sophisticated stores. And they have a very good mission too, which, you know, we think a lot of. They do a lot of great things in our community. But make no mistake, we would like donations to come through your back door and through your ABC. And it's just really, really critical that you know a little bit about our mission too, because believe me, they talk about their mission to their donors all the time. And St. Matthew's House is not the only thrift nonprofit in your area. There are many. So just keep that in mind. We're going to talk about customer service a little bit more, but I want to finish this little piece. You're so fortunate in Collier County because your recycling centers are extremely large, sophisticated. They take a lot from your residents. It's amazing. I mean, if you haven't been to one of those, you know, take the time. Household hazardous waste, which Mindy's going to talk about, they take that. I believe they're closed on Mondays, but they're open Tuesday through Saturday. And they're very, very customer residential friendly, because your tax dollars down here pay for those as well. And now they've even upped their game, and they're doing shredding. And I think they do that a couple times a month for free. So you really, really have a benefit. For those of us who live in Lee County, we don't have the same type of situation there. We have one place where we can take household hazardous material, tires, things of that sort. So you're fortunate, and your donors are really fortunate to have those facilities. Now I do want to show you this. Do you have these at your door? This is from Collier County, okay? And on the back side, they list all of the addresses and the hours. Yes, they're open Tuesday through Saturday, and they're really, really awesome. I have these in my office. I brought a supply today, but if any of you need these, let me know. You can give these out too when you're saying no to a donor, especially when you are saying no to household hazardous waste, okay? Because you're, again, knowledge is power. They're going to say, gee, that donor attendant at Goodwill, they really helped me out today. And this is something that they'll save too. So give these out freely. They're free to us, and we have no problem getting more. So that's another tool for you. This is one of my favorite pieces, okay? Does everybody have these at their back door? Yeah? Do you use them? And do your donors like them?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. This was updated after we started this donation backdoor training, excuse me, because we had a lot of different things we were giving to our donors. Now, quite frankly, these are separate, but they need to be. This piece here has a lot of information that is very, very valuable to your donor. For example, on the front, it has big and bold, the donation pickup line, okay? Does everybody know that we have trucks out there and we pick up furniture and things of that sort? Yeah? Okay, so this, we have a little staff at our plant, and they answer the phone, they schedule. We have 4 trucks that are out there on routes based on their zip code, and they pick up good, sellable items, okay? When we say no, we also say no politely and respectfully in this scenario too. Good example, entertainment centers. We know you guys have some challenges with entertainment centers, right? We also know some sell, some don't sell. Okay, many other thrift stores are saying no across the board to entertainment centers, so you're not alone, number one. Number two, now the televisions don't necessarily fit in those entertainment centers. That's a very good thing that you can say to a donor. We do too. What we do in our situation, we don't have that donor coming to us, we can't see it, so we ask for a picture, okay? And then if we feel that that entertainment center has a chance of selling, we tell the donor that we'll accept it. So our truck guys also are being trained, and they go through a similar training on how to say no. We hope at the end of the day, the product that you are getting from our trucks is good. And you know, if it's not, I'm the one you need to let know, okay? Because we need to be aware of what's happening out there, so we don't want our labor and time and gas to be used to pick up things that aren't sellable, because that also goes against our mission.
Plus safe versus a safety concern as well.
Safety concerns, excellent. That too we worry about. Some of those entertainment centers are monsters. I mean, they're big, they're heavy, and when that customer or that donor paid for it, thousands of dollars, okay, because of the weight of the wood, and it's just a very expensive piece. Now, if it comes in 3 sections, sometimes what we do is we'll take the last 2 or the end section, because they're like bookcases and they look a little bit different. I know, I'm trying. I'm competing. Anyway, we may take part of it. And in that instance, you would say, you know, sir, you know, I will accept that entertainment center, because they too know that a lot of other places are taking them, okay? Make no mistake. Sometimes they don't tell us that. But the other kind of entertainment center that's the particle board, and it looks like it came from like 1980, 1990, and it's old, and you know darn well. It's heavy, and the square is that big for the TV. We're not going to be able to sell that. Now, people will say, how many times have you heard, somebody could use it?
Yeah.
We hear that all the time, right? Somebody could use it. Well, we know a little better, and we know that, you know, there may be a crafter or some kind of person that will take that old piece of furniture and make magic and make it into something else, and they do, and we do have that customer, but not a lot of them. You know, I wish there were more. That would help us out. But you're saying no to that piece of furniture too, the same way our truck drivers do. So please know that when you get an entertainment center, do the best you can with that item. And if you have to take it, okay? We don't want anyone to get angry. And if it happens to come back to the plant, we can send that on to maybe Williston or LaBelle, and maybe that customer, we have a lot of different residential areas and demographics. Your customer may not purchase that, but maybe somebody in one of the counties will. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that transportation is with you on that. That was a long part of the donation pickup, but I want everyone to be aware of that. We have VIP perks on here. I'm going to interrupt Deborah. How many VIP perks customer participants do we have?
79,000.
79,000 people are signed up with our reward program. That is amazing. As you know, we, for those of you who have been around, we had the little donor stamp card that was at the back door, and every time it was filled up, they could turn it in. How many times did you get one little item, a book, and you'd have to stamp that card? That was very frustrating. And we did away with that, okay? Then we did away with the preferred card that you, after you stamp for $10, each purchase of $10, get a blue one.
At the register.
At the register. That one was a little bit more challenging, but we were fortunate to have a great rollout and introduce VIP perks, and now we have almost 80,000 people signed up. They get discounts in their email, it brings them into our store, all of that great stuff. So that information is on this piece too, okay? Then on the inside, the donation tracker, which I will talk about in a second. This donation tracker is different because for those people that want to go online and register what they donated and assess a little value to it, which we don't do, and then at the end of the year they can use it for their tax records. You know, this is very, very handy. Thank you for that. And then this is another little piece that you can hand them to go home with. Then this is another part of what we do, donor concierge. Does everybody know what that is, donor concierge? Donor concierge is under my group too. We have 1 to 2 dedicated trucks to large pickups. For example, yesterday we did a large pack up of the entire home, including all of the appliances, which I know you don't take here, but we do take at the plant, and we use them sometimes in our stores. But we did a pack up. We used, you know, we always use hoppers, containers, sometimes we use a Gaylord or two, and we literally pack up the dishes and the little knickknacks and all the linens and the furniture too. And we have a team that goes out and does that. It's complimentary. No charge, and people really, really appreciate that. So that information is on this too. Then we thought, what the heck, we're going to put what we accept and what we don't accept on this again, because we can't say it enough. And as you all know, both of these lists could be really long, but you know, we kind of condensed it just to make it easy. Then we have all of our store locations by county, all the ADC locations, and the hours, phone numbers, all of that. Very handy. And on the back, we put information about our mission. So this one-stop shop to give to a donor, which again, we can duplicate these, so don't worry. We'd rather the information be out there with all of this great information for them. And we also use it at the cash registers as well. So this is very, very important. I want to talk about the donation tracker for a minute. The donation tracker, everybody knows that we're hitting the button with each and every vehicle that makes a donation. You hit the button whether they want a receipt or not. And it registers the amount of donors that we have coming through. Well, to make a long story short, we knew that our donations were up, but our numbers from the donation tracker were showing that we were down. And we're like, uh-oh, we have a disconnect here. And we've been looking at this for quite some time, well over a year. And we can't seem to get our numbers to where they were coming close to last year, okay? So we did a couple different things. We had somebody literally sit out in the parking lot and count how many donations came in a day, and we measured that with the donation tracker, and we were low on the tracker again. Then we took the bold step of ordering 3 traffic tallies, okay? The traffic tally is like a tube that the vehicle drives over, and it counts. And it will, at the end of the day, we have a way of extracting that information, and we measure the traffic tally in these 3 stores to the donation tracker. Traffic tally told the real deal, okay? And we knew it, but we just needed verification of that. Carl has a traffic tally. How's it going?
Well, for our traffic tally, based on our setup, our store location and exits,
I know,
yeah,
not perfect.
95% of our customers exit through the donation lane. So that's gonna throw us off.
We may want to take a look at that again. I know your situation's a little squirrely. The other, it is. To put it, it is.
It is, they're doing it.
But the data of that, we knew we were off. I'll go back to that. That number is vital. It's not just because, oh, I'd like to know how many donations we're getting. No, it's more than that. That number has an impact on just about every aspect of our business. So we need that number to be accurate. So what is going to happen next? We have ordered more traffic tallies. They won't be at the ADCs because your setups are very different. So you're going to continue to use the donation tracker. And some of the smaller stores we're not going to install these. But the larger stores will get a traffic tally, and we will be installing them. And I would say, we're in like almost, I would say probably April. At least by the end of April, everybody should have one of these in the larger stores, and you'll get more information on that. And we still want you to use your donation card, okay? That is not going away. And we're using that for the donor, so they could register their donations. Also, we're getting information from that as well, because when they register, we know their zip code, we know the stores they're donating more to. We're getting a little bit of feedback from that, so that's important. And the efficiency of the tracker, we may expand it going later, down the road later, but for the time being, we're not going to be using it totally, except for some locations, to count donations, so keep that in mind. Do you have customers who still want the blue receipt?
Yeah, I do.
Everybody?
From time to time.
What do you say?
I tried to explain to them to use the white one when you go online, but some of them say, well, they can't do that because they don't know how to go online. So I can say, okay, I'll give you the blue.
Okay.
And then say, I have to. So I'll do.
And you still get the tracker, right? Okay, good. Okay, here's the thing about the white receipt. Believe it or not, the white receipt is identical to the blue receipt. It has our tax ID number on it, it has the date, the location, the time, all of that good stuff for a donor, okay? They could, with the white receipt, never register it, okay? They don't have to do that. That's just something that they could do. But they could add and maybe staple on the white receipt what they brought in that day. And it serves the same as
I explained
this.
that too, and they
That's okay. Yeah, that's good though. Again, we want to educate them as much as we can.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you need to give them a blue receipt, give them a blue receipt. We have a demographic of customers and donors that may not deals with the computer, they hear computer, and they're turned off. They don't even want to hear the rest of the story, okay? But let me know, please, managers, if you need more of these, because we were weaning them out.
I still got the box.
Do you? I'm kind to you. You spilled the beans. You probably have more than we have
I've
in
got the
plan.
box, and I've got everything else that you guys sent the first time. So I still got all of that. I keep it in the back part of the store.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, for those of you who don't, let me know. We still would like to educate and hopefully at some point do away completely with these, but I understand we're not there yet. Okay, let's talk about customer service a little bit. For those of you who've heard this training before, you gotta hear this again, okay? But we're adults, and
Yeah.
sometimes adult learners need to hear it a few times. We'll just justify it like that. So when you have a lot of activity outside, and it's hot, and you have a couple cars out there, maybe 3, and they're waiting. They're kind of like in a hurry. They're looking at you. They're looking, all eyes are on you. So I say, you're on stage, okay? So, you know, smile and do that great thing, because everybody's saying, oh, I hope that they're quick. Oh, look at that, it's a van full of stuff, and they're watching you. So, we're getting these donations in, right? And we have competition in the neighborhood. So, we want to really make sure that you're all treating that donation very, very respectfully. What do I mean by that? Okay, so you have a Gaylord outside, and you get a bag of textiles. And I've done it because I used to work the back door too. And you do one of those numbers, and you're throwing that bag into this kind of dirty, dingy box. Okay, they're not the cleanest. And they're like, wow. Or they hand you a box, and on top it looks like it's all linens, but underneath you don't know it because you can't see it, and there's glasses, and they're protecting the glass with the linens. Our donors don't separate wares and textiles all the time. They put everything in one box or one bag, and here you go. So if you were to toss that, then you would be dealing with broken glass, okay? Another instance, there was somebody that told me that they were donating, or they did donate, a beautiful house, a little, what do you call this?
Dollhouse.
Dollhouse, thank you. And, you know, it was in really, really good condition, and it was sentimental because her little girl's growing up and she's donating this beautiful toy that her daughter loved. What does the attendant do? Throws it. It broke, you know, and it was like, oh my gosh, you know, we can't do that. So remember, treat those donations very, very respectfully, and let that's just one more thing. It's like an unspoken thing. They notice that, and or yes.
I usually, if I got something like that, and if I got the containers or an empty hopper, I put it in that, and then I just mark it and I set it aside. I don't put it all in one
That's
area.
fine. That's even better. You know, the more you can do that. Now, some of these stores that have boom, 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 they're in a hurry, and you know, sometimes that's not always possible. But speed is important, don't get me wrong, but so is handling that donation properly. Okay, I needed to touch on that. Customer service. Okay, there it is over there, the bulletin board. Can everybody see that bulletin board right there? Probably 2 or 3 trainings ago, we thought this bulletin board would be a good tool for you to use as a little, you know, reminder, and managers a good tool for you to use when you're training. So it's a two-way street. But one of the things that I noticed, because I was the one that did the first round of audits, and we used to do audits all the time, and we kind of got away from that. So I didn't expect it to be like excellent, but some stores were very good, don't get me wrong. But there were a couple stores that I was like a little disappointed, because I'm a really big person that likes to hear thank you. Thank you is so important, especially in what we do. It's imperative. You must say thank you to your donor. And what I really like, and what I'd really like for you to say, is thank you for supporting our mission, okay? That's even better. Not only you, but also the cashiers. Thank you for supporting our mission. You're saying a little bit more, and you're connecting with that donor in a better way, because you're showing sincerity, you're showing knowledge, and you're thanking them. Okay, when I did that round of audits, I had one experience where I had no eye contact with my attendant. He didn't smile, he didn't say thank you, he really didn't say anything. And I left there thinking, wow, that was not a good experience. It didn't make me feel good. It didn't make me feel like my donation was being appreciated. And maybe if I were that kind of person, that would say, well, maybe the next time I should take my donation to Habitat and take it somewhere else, just because of one experience. Now, your donor sometimes never comes in the front door, okay? Some do. We have a lot that do, but we have a lot that don't. And you know, you're making an impression. Sometimes you're that only one person that will ever connect with a Collier County resident, you know, and we want to spread that sincerity and all of that. I could talk to you about customer service for an hour. I'm not going to do that, but I will say that don't forget to smile and say thank you is a really, really important part of your job. And if you're having a bad day, and we all have bad days, try to leave that bad day baggage at the door when you come into work. That's even better. Leave it at home. And come in, and you know, generally people, you know, they want to see you in a good mood, and they want you to smile and say thank you. So do that, and that will go a long way. That board also has the same information, okay, on there. It has this on there, and it has this donation audit up there as well. We have been doing a better job of doing donation audits, and it's hopefully somebody that's incognito, you know, that's probably an employee, or maybe the employee's spouse, that will go through and rate you on some things, okay? And I'm just going to read them to you. Attendant present, clean and organized donation area. Attendant wearing uniform and name tag. Attendant smiles and greets donor. Attendant unloaded donation. Attendant offered receipt and used donation tracker. Attendant knew the steps for donation tracker, which is inside here. Knows the computer and TV policy. Attendant was quick, efficient, and thanked the donor. And then on that, we do a little furniture review inside the store to see what kind of furniture you're accepting. So that's kind of the way it goes. Now let me just say this, they're getting better. They're getting better. I'm getting these, and I'm very, very pleased to say that we've stepped up our game, and we're thankful for that. Training is a really important part of this, because we want everyone to know what is expected of you, you know, with each and every donation that you get. But I do want to ask a couple questions on this. Does everybody know our TV policy?
Yes.
You want to tell me?
We can accept the flat screen TVs, but we cannot accept the big bulky ones.
Very good.
Because they are outdated and they cannot sell back it on the floor.
And to add one more point to that, we have to pay to get rid of it. So that's one more expense, okay? So, yeah, very important. Computers we take, and you can let your donor be assured that we wipe them clean, okay? We do that because what if there was information on that computer that was immoral or something, and that computer gets out into the public and we didn't take care of it, or it had financial information on there, we would be liable. So we clean every single computer that comes through, okay? Anything on this? Any question on these audits? Thank you for stepping up the game and doing a good job with those. Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to talk about lost donations. Okay, some of you have heard this before, but I want to say it again. You're at the back door, okay? You have a donor that donated something in error. Now, it's one of two things. It's either sentimental or it's valuable, okay? And in either case, we want to try to find that item for the donor. And we want to give it back to them if we do find it. We know that once it leaves this facility, that it has a really, really difficult time of being found. Mainly because we have so many stores and we have the plant and we have all of that and it goes out on the truck and we aren't going to track that donation. Okay, that would be not in our best interest. But manager would get involved with you and the manager would then kind of evaluate the situation and know whether or not we have a chance. And be honest with the donor, If they're really adamant, get me involved, email me, and then I'll do my thing with that donor. But here's what we don't want to happen. We don't want you really to mention the plant, okay? The plant is, in their mind, a small place, probably not a big place, and they can't even imagine how many gaylords and things we have coming in and out of there. And the outlet, needle in the haystack, that item would end up in the outlet, okay? Chances of that are very slim. And we have scenarios where people come in to the plant. When they hear plant, they're like looking it up on the internet. Oh my gosh, it's on Tice, let's go. And we had a couple there that donated, that had an argument, okay? And the girlfriend donated the boyfriend's golf shirts, golf clubs, everything related to golf. And he was a caddy, okay? So they must have made up, and they're there together, and they want to go through our plant to find his items, right? Well, anyway, we did go to e-commerce. We did find some of the items, not nearly all of the items, and that was it. That's all we could do. We were lucky to even find that. But by them coming to the plant puts a burden on the plant. It puts a burden on us, and we could handle all of this very easily with an email and a phone call. And it's really best, managers, not to go into the trail of the merchandise, but just kind of to let them know that we're going to do the best we can do. But direct those to me, okay? And everybody encounters them. I get them at least once or twice a week. I'm looking for a red furry blanket right now, sentimental, and the man called me 2 times. So this is really important to him and his mother. So I wanted to talk about that. Okay, I'm doing pretty good. Is there any questions or concerns from all of you? Anything that is on your mind?
I got, you know how you was just saying if they got something sentimental, right? What you could ask them is if they got a picture of it. And if they got a picture of it and the way and how long it is, have them give it to you with their address, their phone number, and then you turn it over to your manager, and your manager can look at it that way and then send it to you guys.
That would be very helpful, and I've received some pictures. It just depends on how motivated that donor will be. And pictures, they do really help in many instances in what we do. But some of them aren't going to be able to do that or have that item or even anything close to that item to take a picture. They may not have one. But we do the best we can do. Sometimes I'm successful. And it really makes me happy when I can call somebody back and say, hey, I have it. I thought I had something the other day, and I described it to the man, and it wasn't his. But he was still very happy that I reached out and that we all tried. I mean, that is very important too. Even though we may not find something, at least they know that we're doing our best to try to find it for them. And that leaves a good impression. So that's all good. Okay, let me ask you guys a couple more questions. When you do your pulls, do you rubber band your shoes?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay, good. We want to make sure that those shoes stay together, because when the shoe gets lost, or separated I should say, sometimes lost, And let's say those shoes make their way to the outlet, okay, it's the next stop on the agenda, and they get put onto a table, and they get rolled into the outlet for sale, and they're not together. You know what can happen? One lady will pick up one shoe, and one lady will pick up the other shoe, and they are fighting over whose shoes those are, because they weren't rubber banded. And it happens, you know, and it's crazy. And the outlet can be a little crazy for those of you who've not been there. It can get a little wild over there. So by rubber banding the shoe, you're saving our company money, because now that pair of shoes has a better chance of selling. And sometimes they do get lost too. So I definitely wanted to cover that point. Do you, when you can, check pockets of your pants when they come in? I know you can't do them all, but sometimes you will find valuables or keys in those pockets. If you find keys, any kind of keys, give them to your manager, because I may get that phone call, because people will realize rather quickly that they're missing car keys, house keys, and sometimes they're expensive to duplicate. So keep keys for a while for me, managers. I'd appreciate that. Okay, here's another oddball thing. We had an employee who donated a lot of girls' jeans because her daughter grew out of them, right? And you know how, well, some of you may not know this, but now like they could be ripped, the knees, and you know, there's rips in jeans, and they sell for like $50 or $75, okay? So the donor noticed that the jeans were ripped and said, we can't accept those because they're ripped. Well, that wasn't good. We could sell those jeans, and maybe even send some of the jeans to Shop Goodwill, okay? Those jeans are just in style. So when in doubt, my best recommendation is take it, okay? And don't give too much feedback to that donor. When we're saying no, it's about furniture. We're not really going into wares right now, and we're not going into textiles unless they're wet and moldy. That's different.
Or smells like smoke.
Smells like smoke. You know, that's a hard one to tell a donor, because sometimes I think when you have a smoker, they don't smell that as you do. Furniture too. Smoke will latch on to furniture. And animal hair too will latch on to furniture. And you can't get it out. It's like there forever, no matter what you do. So we're talking really about furniture when you're saying no. Let me ask you about motorcycle helmets and bike helmets. Do we accept them?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you know that we have a policy on that? You may not. We accept them if they're looking really good for 5 years. If you look on the inside of a motorcycle helmet, there's going to be a year and month as to when that was made. And if it is an old one, older than 5 years, throw it away. We don't even want it in our stream. We don't want it in the outlet. And it may look really, really good, but we would be liable to sell that motorcycle helmet because we may not see the damage or whatever could be wrong with it. Also, cracks. You don't always see that crack. But if you see a motorcycle helmet that, look at the year and look at it too. Like maybe it's within 5 years, but it looks really, really bad. And you're thinking to yourself, boy, this could have been in an accident or cracked or whatever. Just throw it away. It's a liability. Okay? This is another off the topic, but it came up, and I want everyone to know the role on this. Do all of you have a hand in book sorting at all? A little bit? Okay. We don't have our secure shred anymore. What we're seeing is in our Gaylord of salvage books that go to the outlet, we're finding magazines, we're finding books that are ripped, books that are falling apart. That's trash. Very good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page there. It just came to my attention yesterday, and I'm like, gee, I'm going to be meeting with the group, and I'll share that with you too. In the future, we're going to talk about more procedures and policies as it relates to your job. And maybe a little bit about sorting, because we're still having, we're still finding things in our sorts that should probably be trashed, and we want to keep that separate because time is money, and we just want to make sure that we're being very efficient. That's our new thing. We're trying to be more efficient than ever. We have, Mike, you just stepped out? Okay. We have Mike McGarvey, who is here. For those of you who don't know, he's our new Senior Director of Operations, and he too is trying to get us to be more efficient, because when you're more efficient, we save money. And of course, we know that we're a nonprofit, but we're still a business, and we still need to be profitable. So anyway, efficiency is important, and those are some of the things that you're going to be learning in the future, along with a little bit of mission, okay? So anyway, thank you for your time. I'm going to turn it over to Mindy, and she has a really fun exercise for you. Okay.
Keep going.
Give you a rest.
This one's still rolling, so.
Okay. All right. I'm going to talk, as Michelle said, about household hazardous waste. Whether we take it and whether it truly is household hazardous waste or not, and what you do with it, okay? The first one I'm going to talk about is this. Everybody know what this is? What is it? What is it?
Propane.
No, it's helium. It's helium.
It's just like propane.
So, no, it's not just like
No, I'm just saying.
that. You take it outside, you get one of these, you take it outside, you open up the valve, and you press down on this until it's empty. And then it goes in your metal scrap. I throw them right in the metal barrel. It says right on here, they're fully recyclable tanks, okay? So these do not come back in your household hazardous waste stream. I must have 20 of them, okay? Okay, so do we take paint? No. No. Okay. If you see someone coming in and they have a donation of, cans of paint, politely say, "I'm sorry," and that's when you give them this household hazardous waste pamphlet, okay? We do not take it. We do not take gas cans. We do not take household grout sealer and things like that. If you see it coming into the donation stream, politely say no and give them this. Now the rest of the training is going to be for household hazardous waste that you find buried in your donation.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we all find it every once in a while. Some of the things that I find that I actually pulled out of some of our HHW is in this code. I'm going to say our rule of thumb is if you can put it on your skin, you can put it in your eye, and you can eat it, it's not household hazardous waste, okay? And it can, most of the time, go in the garbage, all right? So some of the things that I found over the course of just the past few days.
Potion.
It is balsamic vinegar. You make salad dressing with it. Is this household hazardous waste? No. No. What you would do is you open this up, dump it down the sink, and throw the bottle in the trash. Okay? Another one. Half a bottle of Pantene hairspray. Midline brand, but not too bad. If you're not going to put it on your floor for sale, it can go in the trash because it's not full. Okay? Trash. Contact wetting solution. Is it household hazardous waste? It goes in your eye, right? No. So this one, empty it down the drain, throw the package away. Okay? Full bottle, never been opened. All-purpose cleaner.
Sell it.
Is it household hazardous waste? Sort of. But you got a brand new bottle here. Brand new bottle. What are you going to do with it?
Sell it.
Try to sell it. If you can't sell it, or you don't want to put it on your floor, what are you going to do with it?
Empty.
Put it in the bathroom and use it as a cleaner. You know, that saves us money too. Or pour it down the drain or in your toilet and throw the package away. One of my favorites. Baby oil. Baby oil. If you're gonna put it on your child, it's not household hazardous waste.
No.
Okay? So these can go down the drain, in the trash, you know, things like that. If you have a food pantry that comes to your location and picks up, they will take things like this, okay? We don't deliver to food pantries anymore because of the time constraints, but if they come to you, then you can put this in there because it's more than half full, okay? Here is a contradiction, but if you find these things in your donation stream, this is a Martha Stewart Living paint, okay? It's sealed, never been used, never. It's latex, I believe, but if you want to put it on your shelf, and that's something that you want to do, you can, and sell it. If not, put it in a separate tote marked for Pathways to Opportunity. It's one of our missions. It's our day program for adults with disabilities. They have 2 different art classes, and they also have a theater class, and they paint their own backdrops and sets. They can use this. All of your arts and crafts supplies that come through, all of your little things of paint, they can use those because they have to spend their budget money to buy them for the program. Okay? So get a separate tote together for Pathways to Opportunity and start filling it up with things like this. Glitter, glue, paint, yarn, fabric, things like that. Here's a good one. Fireworks and sparklers. What do you do with these if they come through your donation stream?
Set them off.
Anybody have any idea? What do you do with them?
Put them in t-shirts. Can of water.
Water. Soak them in water. And then, after they've soaked for an hour, 2 hours, you throw them in the trash. Don't send them back to the plant. This is a brand new rubber water bottle, hot water bottle. Why would you think that goes in HHW? You could put this on the floor for sale, or put it in, salvage wares. If you didn't, or raw wares. Another store may put it on their shelf, right? Yeah. This is a good one. Perfume.
Sell it.
Celine Dion perfume.
Sell it.
Sell it. Or send it to e-commerce. Because retail, well, there's about this much gone out of this bottle. It's $65 a bottle. And it was buried in HHW. E-commerce sells perfume like crazy. Okay? I've got an empty Raid Fogger can. Empty. Empty. Where should that have gone? Trash. 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 Here's another thing that you can send to Pathways to Opportunity. Silly string. They would love it. Sidewalk chalk, anything like that. Silly string. It can go to Pathways. Here's a little gift packet. You see a lot of these during Christmas and the holidays. Never been opened. Still has a tag, step foot cream and soap and stuff like that.
Sell it.
Sell it. Sell it. Okay? It's brand new. Okay, now here's one. This is 2-stroke engine oil mix. Is that HHW?
Yep.
This is HHW. If it was a brand new bottle,
Sell
didn't
it.
have any goop on it, you can sell it. But if it does, this is actually HHW that you would send back in your HHW. Okay? This is stress relief topical roll-on essential oils. Would that be household hazardous waste? No.
We need some, yeah.
You put it right on your wrist?
I need some.
You want it? So this does not go in household hazardous waste. It goes on your body, so you can either sell it or throw it in the trash. Okay? We get a lot of these. The handy fuel sterno cans. You put them underneath the dish, they keep the food warm. Sell them. If they're brand new, sell them. I'll get some every once in a while that are dried up. Those can just go in the trash. But if they're new, you can sell them. People stockpile these for hurricane season like you wouldn't believe. Just in case. One more. This one's kind of tricky. Acetone nail polish remover. Is that HHW?
No.
Yeah. Even though you can put it on your skin, it's highly flammable and toxic. So you should probably put this in your HHW. Okay. Shampoos, conditioners, things like that. You know, if you don't want to put them on your floor for sale, they go in the trash. Any cosmetics that have been opened have to be put in the trash. They don't go into HHW either. All right? And lastly, sunscreen. It does not go in HHW. Okay? You can sell it if the expiration date is still good. The other thing I like to do with this stuff, if the expiration is still good, is I put it in my first aid kit. I have guys that work outside in the sun, and they need this because they get a sunburn bad enough, it can become a workers' comp claim.
That's the training for this month as well.
You guys have no cover back here, so you want to make sure that you're wearing sunscreen when you're working back there.
And that's the training for this month, heat and
That's right, that's the
safety
training
and
for this
hydration.
month. Heat, hydration. You gotta stay in the shade as much as you can whenever, I mean, we've had a record-breaking March already. The heat's really ramped up. So use your sunscreen, and it's not HHW. Anybody have any questions? Anything weird that has come through your donation stream that you have a question about? Anybody? Okay, that's all I got. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Ready.
Thank you.